If you had said to me on the 1st of September that I'd be sitting here on the 26th of October telling you that I want my manager to go, I'd have said you're crazy. Guess who's... If you'd have told me on the 1st of September that on the 26th of October I'll be sitting here saying slot out and that I want a new manager, I'd say that you're crazy. Again, football is a crazy world. And after Liverpool's latest loss to Brentford, I think I've reached my limit, unfortunately. Here's why. Now, I could get angry, I could shout, I could do all that stuff, but it's not going to really get me anywhere. But at the same time, I could say everything I'm going to say in the next 10, 15 minutes, and it might not get me anywhere either. But I do feel like I need to get some stuff off my chest and why I've reached a point where I do want to have a new manager at Liverpool Football Club. And I want to say first and foremost, I do not hate Slot, do not even dislike the guy. I will always have the utmost respect for Arne Slot. He delivered us number 20. When Jurgen Klopp left, or when he announced his retirement, should I say, I was worried thinking, who are Liverpool going to get next? Originally, I wanted Xabi Alonso. The affiliation he had with Liverpool previously, plus what he had done at Leverkusen, was outstanding. Got confirmed that he was going to go Real Madrid. Then I did start to look at Amorim, and I thought, 3 at the back, that's his system. Do we have the personnel for that? We're going to have to really rip up the whole squad and then get in all the players that he needs to implement that. And we've seen how long it's taken at Man United. Then we got told we're going to get Arne Slot. I knew nothing about the guy. But straight away in pre-season, I was like, yeah, this guy is the real deal. I saw patterns of play. I saw set piece inventions. Then we started the season on fire. Didn't expect us to win the league last season. I'll be the first to say I thought we'd finish 3rd. But then we walked the league, made it look easy. But from January 2025, and the first game of the calendar year, if I'm not mistaken, was Manchester United, that 2-2 game where we all sat there and went, Trent, his head's somewhere else right now. Trent was playing against us today. From that game right up until now, the Brentford game where we've just lost 3-2, we've had a very average 2025. Now, the first thing people might say to that is, well, we won the league. What are you talking about? Yeah, we won the league. But if you just take this calendar year in isolation, from January 2025 to October 2025, we've been average at best. Some of our performances have been masked by good results. If you actually break down our performances, if you break down how we've played in a large majority of these games, we haven't been good enough. Now, again, I'll caveat that. We had wrapped up the league quite early, so you can be forgiven for saying, like, we'll be on the beach for the last few games. I wasn't a fan of that. I came out and said that. I wasn't a fan that, the players had gone on holiday, Slot had gone on holiday before the season was finished. I think you owe it to the fans. I think you owe it to the players that you play hard until the last minute of the season. Even if you have won the league early, you try and chase down points tallies. You try and lay down a marker and say, yeah, we're going to still beat teams. I remember we did that with Klopp, 1920. We had won the league very early. We still made sure we won those remaining games, or tried to win those remaining games. We just didn't look like a team that cared. But okay, I was in the minority of that. That's fair enough. I'm not even saying my opinion was right there. But in October 2025, I sit here and I tell you as a Liverpool fan, I've kind of had enough of this. And I know people are going to see Slot out and think, oh, it's another YouTuber just chatting crap to get clicks and views. Anyone who watches our content on Kopish will know that we don't just do stuff for clicks and views. If we did that, then we'd be on more subscribers, we'd get more likes, yada, yada, yada. We speak and we say how we feel as individuals. Sometimes we all agree. Sometimes we all disagree. Sometimes me and Drift might agree. Sometimes we might disagree. Sometimes me and Matt might agree. Sometimes we'll disagree. Same with Matt and Drift. But I'm going to explain to you why I'm slot out. And I want to start with the defensive setup and structure of Liverpool Football Club. And I'm going to ask you guys a rhetorical question because you can't answer me while I'm recording this video, but maybe you can in the comment section. What's our defensive structure? Last season, I saw a team that was compact. Last season, I saw a team that was all defending together. Last season, I saw a team that were all willing to fight for each other to win that ball back, to make sure we had control of the game through possession. I don't see that this season. I see disjointedness in our defensive setup. I see a defensive setup whereby teams are able to play through our midfield. They're able to get to our back line. At the moment, it feels like Ibu and Virgil versus the attack. And long have Arsenal been ridiculed for playing the quote-unquote 4 centre-backs and 3 defensive midfielders. But guess what? As of right now, Arsenal is sitting here, have only conceded 3 goals in the league. If I'm not mistaken, in fact, I'll go and actually check what the actual number is so I don't misquote it. But we are sitting currently in the Premier League, just the Premier League, we have conceded 14 goals. In 9 games, Liverpool have conceded 14 goals. That is atrocious for a team that's trying to win the league. It is often looked at, from what I see, that we are literally just saying to Virgil and Ibu, you guys defend and the rest of them will just do whatever. It's not sustainable. The best defenses are units, not just great centre-back pairings. And I know the centre-back pairings and the goalkeeper will often get the plaudits. Raya will get the Golden Glove at the end of the season if Arsenal continue the way they're going. But ultimately, it's not just Raya who's defending for Arsenal. It's Timber who's strong in one-on-one duels. It's Calafiori who's strong in one-on-one duels. It's Gabriel who's dominant in the air and strong in one-on-one duels. It's Saliba who's good with the ball at his feet and strong in one-on-one duels. It's Declan Rice who will graft and fill in for a centre-back if one of those goes out of position. It's Zubamendi who will take control of a situation with the ball at his feet. It's Marino who will fill in. It's all these players who are willing to put in the defensive work. But at the same time, that comes from the manager. So if the manager's not setting us up in a defensive structure that allows our team to be defensively solid, then that lies at his feet. The next thing that's really wound me up is defending from set pieces. If I'm not mistaken, Liverpool were 1 or 2 in terms of ranking for best defensive statistics from defending set pieces last season. This season, whether it be a corner, a free kick, second balls in the box, throw-ins against Brentford, we struggle. When Brentford got that throw-in in the first 5 minutes, I sat there and I thought, we're in trouble here. I panic every time Liverpool concede a corner or a free kick close to the box. Because sometimes we win the first ball, but that second ball we don't. That second ball often ends up in the back of the net. That's not good enough. I'm going to go through what is Arne Slot's preferred starting lineup, it seems. Maybe with an extra player here or there. I'm going to... No, in fact, I'm not going to disregard Alisson. Alisson, the goalkeeper, 6'3". Remember, that's Villy, 6'6". Frimpong, pretty short. Conor Bradley, I wouldn't be surprised if Conor Bradley is about 5'11", 6 foot. Konate, 6'4". Virgil, 6'4". Kirkes, I think 5'10", 5'11". Gravenberch, 6'3". McAllister, not the tallest, but McAllister's not played as much as Szoboszlai, for example, this season, who is 6'1", if I'm not mistaken. Gakpo, 6'4". Ekitike or Isak, whoever's played up top, 6'4". Mo Salah on the shorter side of 5'9". Out of your starting 11, it's often 7 players in the team who are 6 foot and above. It's not a height issue, it's a desire issue. We cannot defend set pieces. Not only that, we struggle to score them. That Frankfurt game, That was a blast from the past. Virgil and Ibu scoring from set pieces. We struggle to score from set pieces, but we struggle even more to defend from set pieces. Therefore, we are constantly going into games with a pressure on us that is not only not to concede goals, don't even concede set pieces. That's not sustainable. In fact, that's poor on all fronts. Then tactical setup. Last season, we often defended on a 4-2-4, but we had Luis Diaz was a pressing monster. RIP, we had Diogo Jota was a pressing monster. Szoboszlai in the front four was a pressing monster. We don't have that now. Wirtz, not a pressing monster, but he's good in the press. Good, just good. Not great. Gakpo, again, okay. Salah doesn't really press anymore. Isak, just good. Ekitike, just good. But behind that, there's no pressing structure at all. In terms of just tactical setup, we go with this 4-2-3-1, but sometimes we've seen Wirtz deployed on the left. Recently, we've seen him deployed on the right. This is a marquee number 10 we've purchased, and we're playing him left, right, on the bench against Man United. Then you bring him off in games when you're chasing a goal. We brought off Florian Wirtz when we're chasing an equalizer, or chasing a goal, should I say, and brought on Joe Gomez to play right back. Meanwhile, Szoboszlai has been our main right back this season. And that leads on to my next point about team selection and substitutions. Salah is an absolute world-class club legend. There's an argument to say Salah is the best player Liverpool have had in the Premier League era. Now, me personally, I think it's Gerrard. Salah's top 3 minimum. Minimum, he's top 3. At a push, he's 1 or 2. I know some people argue Suarez because of, the talent he had, but he never had the longevity of a Salah. Obviously, Virgil's in that conversation as well. I personally think Alisson should be in that conversation as well. But Salah is, at worst, he's third best Liverpool player in Premier League era history. And he's a legend. One of my favorite players of all time. I'm a Salah fanboy. I'll say it. I'm proud of it as well. Salah fanboy. He doesn't deserve to be starting games right now, and hasn't deserved to start games for a little while. Then you look at McAllister last season, especially the second half of the season. Excellent. Some vital goals. You remember the header against Everton at Goodison Park, the opening goal against Real Madrid, the goal against Fulham, the goal against Spurs, which lifted the roof off at Anfield when we lifted the trophy on that day. But this season, McAllister's not been good enough. So why is he still getting game time? Why is he starting? Then you look at other players. You look at Gakpo, who, yes, granted, in his last 3 games, he's got 3 goals before the Brentford game. But his form and his application in the game hasn't been great. Constantly ignoring the overlapping run of Kirkes, constantly cutting in field and being predictable. Liverpool's Player of the Month award went to Federico Chiesa. When was the last time Federico Chiesa got a start in the Premier League? That is shocking man management. Konate went for a really bad spell. And granted, Konate's turned it around in recent weeks. But in that bad spell, if you're Joe Gomez, how are you feeling? Thinking that the person who's playing in your position, especially with Leone out injured, is still getting game time while you're sitting on the bench despite how bad he's playing. If you're Frimpong and Connor Bradley and you see Szoboszlai playing at right back instead of you, how are you feeling at that? The man management hasn't been great, in my opinion. He's criticised players in press conferences. And again, I'm good with that to an extent. But when it's more criticism at others than when you, instead of looking at yourself in the mirror, I have an issue with that. Chiesa should have started so many games this season, whether it be ahead of Salah or ahead of Gakpo. He should have started those games. We're told, and these aren't Slot's words, so I'm not going to say these are Slot's words, but we're told throughout the summer that Rio's the truth, and Rio plays so many games in pre-season, and Rio's pathway can't be blocked, so we probably won't bring in another wide player. But we're only bringing on Rio when we're losing the game or chasing the game. We are beating Frankfurt 5-1. 5-1 we're beating Frankfurt. Surely you bring on Rio in a game like that. Put your arm over his shoulder, go out there and have some fun, man. Game's wrapped up, no pressure. Go and play your game. Instead, we're looking at a 17-year-old who's barely played any Premier League minutes, barely played any senior minutes, and going, we need you to get out here and save this game. That's negligent. That's not great man management. That's poor. That's really poor. And that leads into the whole favoritism thing as well. Again, Gakpo hasn't been poor this season, but he's not been great. But he's one of the first names on the team sheet. McAllister, one of the first names on the team sheet, apart from the last two games, funny enough. Jones gets starts and now is obviously injured, which has kind of been the story of his career, to be honest, unfortunately. But Jones, before the Eintracht Frankfurt game, he should have been starting games. He was impacting games off the bench. Chiesa, why can't he start some games? What is going on at Liverpool? What is going on with Arne Slot? And for me, this can't continue, man. So look, I'm going to wrap up there, guys. I'd love for Arne Slot to prove me wrong and turn this around, and we're laughing and joking, and you guys are ridiculing me, and I'm getting clipped up and saying, people are going, yeah, look what you said in October, Cal. You reactionary fan and, knee-jerk reactions. I hope to be clipped up for those things. But I'm sitting there telling you right now, guys, I want us to get a new manager. Who? I've got my thoughts on that, but I think that's for a different video. But I think we need a new manager, guys. And not even in a disrespectful way to Arne Slot. Thank you for delivering another Premier League trophy for us. Always remember that. Always remember that parade that I got to go to because of your management. But this isn't good enough. And I'm going to leave it there, people. If you agreed with what I said, please do leave a like. If you disagree and would love to explain why you disagree, please do say so in the comment section. And people, thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you again. My name is Callum, representing Team Kopish. Stay safe, stay blessed. Take care.